All right, welcome, guys. This is a special edition of the Running Journey. A lot of them have been special editions lately. I'm excited today because I got Uncle Moe as a special guest. Welcome, Uncle Moe.
Oh, glad to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. And I also have my cousin, Zhaj, one of my all-time great buddies and recently running buddy, Zhaj. Great to have you here as well.
Thanks so much.
And we got my brother, Charlie. That's him over there.
Yeah, coffee. The coffee's good. So
yeah, you need the coffee. You definitely need the coffee. We're recording this right before the WFPS. Today's episode is going to focus a lot on the WFPS. We'll touch a little bit on Charlie's last kind of week before Ironman, touch a little bit on what I'm doing this weekend, but mainly this episode, we want to talk about two pretty neat journeys that have happened. Uncle Moe and Zhaj's your journeys. So why don't I start with you, Zhaj? Tell me you're running the WFPS?
Yeah, running the WFPS.
That's Saturday or Sunday?
2 days out. Sunday, 2 days out.
Why'd you decide to run the WFPS? And Mo, I'm going to ask you the same question after.
Yeah, so I've been running on and off for the last few years, I'd say, and gearing up to the summer. I was on a golf trip with a couple buddies, and my buddy was like, I need to do something. And my buddy Jamie, shout out to Jamie there. I'm sure he's going to be pumped to hear that. So he was like, I need to do something, got to get off my butt and do something. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I told myself I'm going to start running this week, just whatever. He's like, how about let's do the WFPS in the fall? That'd be something to motivate us. And I was like, yeah, I'm in, sign me up right away. So we got home from the golf trip, signed up right away. And then it was just that goal at the end of the summer. It kept us running all summer. And that's why I signed up for this one for sure.
You've been diligent. I've been following your runs. I've had the good fortune to run with you as well.
Yeah. I've been pretty consistent all summer long. At least, three runs a week all summer long, gearing up for it. So pretty excited. It's definitely the most prepared I've ever been for a race for sure.
And I guess I should probably say to the viewers that Zhaj is Mo's kid. I should probably mention that. Uncle Moe, Zhaj is my first cousin. Mo is my mom's brother, my mom's younger brother. And Mo, I want to get to you. Sorry, go ahead, Charlie.
No, that's exactly. Yeah. So Uncle Moe is George's dad. You got it. Good job.
Okay, I got it. Good. Yeah. I nailed it. I nailed it. So before I ask you about why you run with Rob, why you ran the WFPS, I want to remind the viewers, those that missed earlier on episodes, Mo was a big part of my journey this summer when I ran across New Brunswick. Mo, my tante Sue, my parents, TJ, that for the 13 days in New Brunswick. You were there every single day with me, every single morning. You gave me a hug every single time I finished my half marathon. You were there to encourage me. So I want to thank you for that. Those that don't remember Uncle Moe, that's the Uncle Moe. That's the Uncle Moe that helped me get through Run with Rob this summer. Mo, how are you feeling and why did you decide to run WFPS?
Well, obviously New Brunswick was a big push, but Georges and his buddy says, well, we're running I started running, but not as much as George. He's been running a shorter time. And but Josh says, oh, we're running the WFPS. Why don't you run with us? Well, thinking, maybe I should do maybe I'll be able to do a 10K if I start training. This was back in June, and then all of a sudden I'm running 10K. Well, why not do the half? So here we are, and we're going to try and do a half.
How old are you, Mano?
I'm 65, and I've never done anything like this before, like run a race or other than back in school, but.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
So it's a first for me, and there's a lot of anxiety and nervousness,
Oh, Uncle Moe, you're gonna crush it. but pretty amazing that you started. I guess did like running with Rob. Like I know you did a little bit there when you did the run with Rob, CMV in New Brunswick. Did you was that kind of maybe some, I don't know, inception of the idea of starting to kind of work towards a half too, or did that?
Well, at that time, I thought the half was really far from my really out there. I never thought I could do a half.
It wasn't even on the radar, right?
Not on the radar. Not on the radar.
Yeah, that's how things work sometimes when you start. Your radar.
Sore and, I was running when Rob and his co-runner were running. I was doing a little run here and there before we give him water or whatever, gels, or we were doing a bit of running. I ended up running in New Brunswick about 120K.
Wow.
Over 13 days.
That's in short stints. Yeah.
Well, and it was not all running. Some was walking a bit.
That's amazing.
So, I got to tell this story, and I think I've probably told it before, but I want to tell it again because it's so cool. Uncle Moe, when I started, you were like, you had no clue. Well, I don't want to say you had no clue. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I remember you telling me like, oh, I might as well run a little bit. You're running. This other guy's running. This person can do it. Well, you were like, I'll run for a bit. So you would run just kind of like you'd run like a couple 100 meters to us.
Yeah.
Then we'd run kind of together for 100 or 200 or 300 meters.
Exactly.
And then I'd say bye and I'd see you at the next 2 miles or a mile or whatever. And you were a gamer.
And then we'd go. That's how much we would run, in between.
Yeah. But I have to tell the story the day where someone canceled and I had nobody that one day. Like day 5 or something, day 4, I don't remember. It was the hilliest day. And I was like, I asked Mo and my mom if they would join me either on, running or on bike. Mm-hmm. Right. I had the story right. And like that hill, it was so steep.
I said, I'll get a head start, Rob, and I'll go ahead and go down the hill fast. And then, you can catch up later. Well, I wasn't even halfway up the hill and there's Rob right behind me. And I can't.
Sometimes it's easier to run up a hill than to bike up.
That day, it was easier on running than biking for sure because you were carrying this bike, and I was like, poor Mo. And then I was like, oh, I'm kind of a jerk.
At that point, Rob, I thought, man, that guy's a machine.
And now look at you. Look at you, Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, so how do you feel? You said you had anxiety, nervousness. You want to talk a bit about that? What are you worried about?
Oh, it's just me. I'm like that. Whenever I got something coming up, anxiety sets in a bit. And I know it's just a bit of nerves, whatever, but
a bit of excitement too, though.
Definitely excited.
Because I'm looking at your Strava feed right now, and
he's the machine.
You've been so consistent, which is to me the key. You did a 13-mile run, I think, in your training.
Yeah, he did a couple. I think basically.
Yeah. So I think there's no problems. You're gonna. Yeah. How are the knees feeling? How are they any injuries or any tiredness?
No, not too tired, but I do get these little gout attacks sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And your feet hurt sometimes, but it's good. It's all good right now.
And I'm so excited for you, Manok. I'm so pumped for you because it's like in a little way, and this is going to sound selfish, but it's kind of like it brings me a lot of joy to think of the lives that my running has peripherally touched. Obviously, you're doing 100% of the running, but it's like I feel like I touched it a little bit, so that brings me
definitely, Rob.
100%.
That brings me a lot of joy, and I love to see you, and I love to check your jogs, and I love to see Josh's jogs. I know I had nothing to do with Josh because he was running before, but we did get to jog a couple times this summer. That was awesome. I really enjoyed it. We got to chat. I think I told a story on the podcast the day that you and I went out, and we did. I forget 10K or something.
I think we did 10K.
Right? Yeah, and it was a good day. It was a hot day, right?
Yeah, hot day. Yeah.
And I think you had done one of your PBs that day or something.
It would have been my fastest 10K to this point in this, like, since that's in the summer. So at that point, probably it was my fastest 10K that I'd done, yet this summer, kind of thing. Yeah.
And then Charlie comes back from like a race or something. You remember? I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Charlie was.
I didn't even do my race. I didn't even do my race.
Yeah, he missed the race. He was supposed
to. Oh yeah, that's right.
He came back, and then he was all down on himself, and I was like, oh, relax, Charlie. Like I'm just happy I can go half your speed or whatever, and that was the whole deal there. But
put perspective on the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, give yourself some credit for sure, because I'm aspiring to be half as fast as you are here, and I just did a PB of my recent PB 10K, and that was way slower than what you were doing, so that was good.
Well, George, I've been looking at your runs, and you got pretty good pace there. So I don't know, what do you have a goal? Like you said, 2:15, 2 hours. What's the real goal?
When I originally started running this summer without knowing how it was going to go, my goal was originally a PB. This will be my third half marathon. So my original goal was PB with a stretch goal of sub 2. And throughout the whole summer, I was like, I don't know if sub 2 is going to be in the cards, but I know my PBs in the cards, sub 2:15.
Sub 2 is definitely there, George.
But now with I don't know if it's just like the fall running, but like in the last month, I've felt like a huge amount.
My only concern, so George, sub 2 is definitely there, but my only concern is that maybe you didn't taper enough. But maybe so. But your last, you did an 8-mile run. You did an 8-mile run on
Saturday, right? Saturday or Sunday?
I'm trying to see which day that was. Not last week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Not that one.
I remember when I saw that. I remember thinking Charlie's not gonna like that.
So 8-mile run, 8:52 pace. To me, if you can do that, like even if that was your all-out effort, I don't know if you went all out for that run, or how hard.
I mean, I think it would have been close to all out. My concern is, and since running with Rob that weekend, is I'm fairly sure my Strava is got me like a 0.05K short. Which is fine. Like I'm still staying consistent on my things, but I know that.
What do you mean 0.05K short?
It's tracking me like my the kilometers slightly short. So I got maybe.
Oh, it's giving you extra distance.
It's giving
you extra distance.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I know either way. I know I'm still close. It's right there.
But the segments should be on.
Yeah. And anyways, I don't care too much, really. Like I'm just like whatever, as long as it's consistent and I'm seeing progress. That's what I was pumped about. But I know that end of the race when I have an extra kilometer to do might be a little daunting. But I know I'm close, so I know I'm gonna go for it probably, but it's going to be the pacing is going to be tough. I know I'm going too fast off the hop. So
you're talking about sub 2, right? Because obviously we're talking about
I think I think I got to go for it at this point, but I think it's going to be tough. But,
but remember, the key to having a good race is not going too hard at the beginning.
100%.
I've said this way too many times.
Yeah, but that's okay, Charlie.
That's the point.
You can keep saying it.
You can do whatever you want. And like that's the thing, right? Like I know I have to go slow. It's just I don't know exactly what that pace is because I know my timing's off. But so we'll see how I feel. I think I'm gonna
check your watch. Check your watch when you get to mile 1. Should be about 9:20.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'll just, I'm going to start with that 2-hour pacer in my just ahead of me, or start with the 205
there's a pacer.
maybe.
Yeah, use the pacer then. Yeah.
There's a pacer. So I might start with the 205 and then just keep that 2 maybe in my sights, and we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Checking the weather here for you guys.
It's supposed to be a nice day.
What I love about WFPS is like, one, it's fast because it's Winnipeg, it's flat, it's a very flat course. But two, it's also like always great weather. Charlie, you've talked about on this podcast before what happens when October rolls around. It's always the same thing. It's always all of a sudden everyone's running better. Like, we're miserable because snow's coming and the days are short, but the runners are happy. The runners are happy because all of a sudden we felt 20 seconds off our miles, right?
My runs have felt incredible in the last.
Yeah, it definitely starts feeling easier when it gets cooler. So very nice forecast. Looks like it's 8 degrees. It's going to be a straight west wind from the west. So that you have to factor in. That you have to be careful with, because when you go down Portage, you're going to be straight downwind. But then when you come back on Wellington, you're going to be right against the wind. So you got to be. You probably want to go a couple seconds faster on Portage, and then it's going to be a lot harder. You're going to expect it to be hard when you're back on Wellington at the end.
Wellington will be more undercover, maybe, though.
Yeah, but you'll be right into it. You'll feel it.
Mo's done his research, Charlie.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah,
Mo, you reached out to us. Sorry, go ahead, Mo.
I was just wondering what kind of wind velocity is going to.
It's pretty decent. So according to this, anyways, 11 to 22 kilometers.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be a strong wind. So you'll want to adjust your pace accordingly a little bit, I would say.
Speaking of strong winds, sorry, I don't want to distract, but I have to tell a quick story about here in Malaga and Torremolinos, Spain. First time ever this happens in my life. They canceled the bike check-in today, the day before.
Nice.
Because the winds are knocking towers over and the winds are knocking stuff over. So there's no bike check-in today. Bike check-in's tomorrow with your race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyways.
Just hope it stays on the stand when you get in from your swim. That might be a rough swim then with the wind. Is it going to be windy tomorrow?
It's absurdly windy outside. I know Torremolinos says it's not that windy, but I walked on the boardwalk today. Like, kids are falling off.
Yeah. Wind really sucks for triathlon. That puts a wrench.
It's blowing the kids off the boardwalk.
It's blowing the kids off the boardwalk. Another kid disappears off the boardwalk.
Well, Charlie, if they're wearing really baggy clothing, that's
baggy clothing, yeah, like a sail, like you were when you were riding your bike. I don't want to say I'm getting cold feet about this marathon, this Guinness record thing, but I'm getting cold feet about this Guinness record thing. Anyways,
I was going to ask.
We'll ask if you were later.
No, that's going to be a gimme for you.
Oh my God, Charlie! When I told one person we had our team social today where I met everyone, and she's like, and obviously you okayed this with the rules committee, and I was like, I mean, no. So she's like, I think they might, there's a chance they might use the safety clause or whatever and not let you do it. And I was like, what? Whoa, back. So then I asked our chef de mission, and he said he'd look into it and get back to me, but I haven't heard back. So.
Did you bring shoes and other pedals just in case? Or
I don't have.
I didn't even bring shoes.
I didn't bring shoes. I have Vaporflies.
Okay, but if ever you could do your clipless triathlon again.
Well, like I did in Pinawa, I won. Yeah. You should see the pedals I built for this barefoot thing. Oh, I'm proud of myself. Well, Marco did 98% of the work, but they look good. So I want to ask you. It's tomorrow morning.
Oh, so this is the barefoot.
Yeah, I'm committed because I told way too many people about it now. So I'm committed to it.
That, as a kid, we were always bare feet, always. I remember chasing cows down cow paths, jumping over logs and ducking under branches, all bare feet, running through the bush. And even from school, we'd take our shoes off at school and because we'd be a mile uphill both ways, and run home from school with no shoes because it was faster.
In the winter.
In the winter.
I'm happy you touched on that, because I think that our rural upbringing, Charlie and I, Josh, you probably remember, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but as kids, we didn't wear shoes. So I'm hoping that it serves me well. I did one practice. I did a 25 or 30-minute walk barefoot. Feet felt good. So
good enough.
See. I'm sure it's the same as jogging, right?
Yeah, probably.
I want to ask you guys about motivation, intrinsic motivation. What you guys get from running? Either one. Yeah, what do you get from it? Why do you enjoy it? Why do you enjoy it? Or do you just have this goal that you want to run a race? Or
it sure helps with the fitness. Like I never had time to run. Like work and you time goes by, and then all of a sudden your body's out of shape, and what do I do now? Like, and walking was helping, but now running, I feel it's really more productive towards getting your body back in shape. Like,
ready to teach some things to your nephews on Sunday at Lumberjacks. On Sundays at Lumberjacks.
I haven't been going to Lumberjacks, but
but think how good you'd be now.
Probably.
Lumberjacks is the family Sunday morning hockey skate that we've all played. Well, you'd be good at it now because your cardio would be unreal.
Might have to try a trip out maybe and see how it goes, and then
I'll go. I'll bring my goalie stuff and we'll do it.
Oh yeah, Charlie's a goalie now. I don't know if
you're a goalie.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Shortest goalie in the league.
He played pretty good. I played with him one game. He's pretty good. He was way better than I thought you would be. Take that as an insult or a compliment. You're way better than I thought you would be, Charlie.
Well, I haven't given you. So I got my first W the other day.
Whoa.
According to the website, it said I saved 23 out of 25 shots.
So like the third period, the second,
but it's not real. It was 13 out of 15, anyways.
Still, that's who's the backup of the Jets right now? Comrie. Those are Comrie numbers.
Daniel Berthiaume.
Those are Daniel Berthiaume's and Mike Beauregard numbers for sure. Josh, what do you get out of running, and what like you've been running for longer? When did you do your first? You did the COVID one that got canceled because of the heat.
I think it was 2020. It was the one that they ended up canceling. I mean, I still finished, but it was super hot. So that was, I think, 2020.
Tell that story. Tell that story real quick.
Yeah. So that was my first official half marathon that I had signed up for. And I probably was like, I trained quite a bit for it. But yeah, on race day, it was like plus 35, and they started the race and I didn't even know they had canceled the race. And I noticed a couple aid stations were kind of like laxing, and there was like way less volunteers all of a sudden, but I had my headphones in and I was just running. I only found out that the race actually got canceled after I got home. I was like, what? So I finished the race and it was super hot. Like, it was a grueling.
It's kind of like an epic story in Manitoba running history, but that's crazy that you didn't even know. Like I
didn't even know.
Dangerous, right? Think of how dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had finished before it was really obvious, and it was more obvious for the people running the full marathon because they're like, I think some people got to aid stations and like the streets weren't even closed anymore. That was crazy. Like all of a sudden they weren't even controlling. They opened the roads.
They're just running on roads.
Yeah, and then that was less than ideal. So yeah, with no aid stations, and they opened up the streets before the end of the race because they canceled it. So I don't think that was ideal, but I didn't have to deal with that. Everything.
That was your first one.
That was my first one. Yeah.
Then you did.
And I did the next one I did was with Run with Rob.
Manitoba.
Manitoba is the second one I did.
That was the Curé leg, right?
The Curé leg, which was also a super hot day, plus 30.
The hottest day. The hottest day of Run with Rob for sure.
The hottest, yeah, and right on the glaring sun highway for most of it. So, both half marathon attempts that I have been in plus 30 weather, which is not ideal. So I'm looking forward to this one for sure, because I know it's not going to be that. If it's that, I'm going to lose my mind.
I got to tell a quick story about that day run with Rob. I was running with, I think, Sammy and Klutz and maybe JL. We were kind of in the 230 range, 240 range. It was a battle for those guys to finish, like a real big battle to finish. And I kept telling him, like, it's just to Deacons. Like, it's just to Deacons. We're almost there because you're cutting through Deacons. And then all of a sudden we saw the RV parked at the corner of Deacons. We were coming from Navin there, or like Sage Creek area there, through there. And I was like, I can see the RV, guys. We're almost there. So we're running. And every time we'd get a little closer, the RV would move. The RV kept moving. The RV kept moving because it was like supporting the race. And as it turns out, I didn't know this, but it was another like mile, I think, after Deacons.
It was somebody else's RV.
Oh, no, it was our RV.
That must have been a long mile.
They were not happy with me. Yeah, just the Deacons, hey, Rob. Rob. But it was like, I remember that day was hard. You probably did around 230 that day or something like that, 220?
So that is my current PB day. I think I was at 216 or 217 or something like that.
Okay, that's a good for that day.
So that's my current PB, and I should be well below that. Hoping, anyways. That's the ultimate goal, and that still have that stretch of sub 2. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah,
have either of you thought about what you want to do after this?
Yeah, I mean,
Josh?
Mo, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to try and do this one, and after that, well, I don't know. Then winter's going to set in, and I love running outside. So, like last winter, I wasn't running last winter. I was walking, but every day I was outside. Minus 30 didn't matter. I was out there. I didn't do the Strava thing last year, but I was out there, and then I don't know. It was, I thought the 21K was like never would be done. I always dreamt of doing a marathon, and 21K was never on my radar ever. And I thought at 65, well, the dream's over, but I guess it's not. I guess so. Keep dreaming, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, Uncle Mo. I have like shivers right now just thinking about what you did. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
So maybe marathon, I don't know.
Yeah, you said it, so it's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, Jean Cormier could do it.
Louis Calamier. Like Charlie always says, people are doing this. People are doing marathons at 65. I was out there today. There's people doing the world triathlons at 65 and Ironman, and so people are doing it. You're rare, obviously, the people that are in your shape at your age and that decide to all of a sudden start running, Mo. But it's doable.
But yeah, like still a bit of soreness in the knees, but
and how about you, Josh?
Carefully.
Can I just ask another question to Mo first? we didn't really touch on, so you just want to complete the WFPS, or do you have any type of time goal? Because I know you've already done 13 miles. So is there any type?
I'd like to do under 3. So okay. that means Rob, you go twice as fast in a marathon than I do. Because you like to do the whole thing under 3. I'd like to do a half under 3.
Yeah, I think it's irrelevant. What does Greg Penner say? Don't compare yourself to others, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, you already did, according to when you did your training run, you did it in 2:57, so
right,
should be doable.
Yeah,
that's when my phone froze, and I knew I was very low, like I was tracking it with my phone. I don't have a watch.
Yeah.
And I was tracking it with my phone, and I knew I had it in my pocket, and it was really cold that day, so the battery went down really fast.
Oh yeah. My phone dies when it's cold out.
Yeah, so I had gloves, so I put the phone in my glove to keep it warm, but it still froze at the end and it died.
Yeah, you gotta have a pocket inside where you put it right against your skin, and then I'll keep it warm for winter when you do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. So, Georges, what's next on the horizon for Georges?
Yeah. I've been saying it out loud, but I think I'm going to do the Manitoba full marathon. So now it's really on the podcast. So, but no, that's the goal. I've come a long way this summer, and I figure if I just keep running over the winter, I've never really run in the winter outside, but I do have a treadmill. So, worst case scenario, I might just run on the treadmill in the winter. But no, I'm planning on keeping going and hopefully doing that the full Manitoba in the spring. That's the goal.
Those are two awesome goals. And I hate to look ahead, but those are two awesome goals. Mm-hmm. And you know what you should do, Judge, in the winter? Saturday mornings, run with Rob, come for a 10K.
Yeah.
More miles, less pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of my plan. I just want to keep running. And I know having a goal keeps me accountable. So if I don't do it, I'm fairly confident that I'd stop over the winter. But I'm going to sign up as soon as I can, I think, and keep it going. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, okay. So Judge sub 2, Mo sub 3, you said. Yeah. Do you guys want to ask Charlie or me, but people always want to ask Charlie stuff about pacing or pacing strategies, or maybe I'll ask Charlie if he's got pacing advice for these two.
I think Josh has it bang on. There is at least till you get to Portage, maybe stay a little bit behind your pacer. And then on Portage, depending on, like, pacers aren't always 100% accurate, but just think it's 909 per mile, right? So every mile, check your watch. Mm-hmm. And I think you can easily do under 2. I don't know how much your time is off, but based on what your data is saying, like, you could easily do under 2. I think when you go on Portage, maybe go like around a little bit under, like maybe 9 minutes per mile, because then you're going to be downwind. And then once you get to Wellington, then it's just by feel, right? Yeah, stay in front of the 2 hour. But I think one thing about races, like, you probably don't have that much experience in actual races, and this is a great race where it's a great atmosphere. You can you'll surprise yourself sometimes if you're well trained, right? So, but the key is to, like, not go too fast, because you'll be excited right at the beginning. So yeah, that's my pacing advice for Georges. I think he's gonna nail it. For Mo, well, I don't know. I think I don't really know the paces for Mo, but I think just do it by feel. Like, you've done lots and lots of miles, and I would just say don't go too fast when you're on Portage. Sorry, save your energy for the end, but that's the only thing I'd say. I think you'll do way better than 3 hours, no matter what. So I don't think he needs my advice, is what I'm saying.
Oh, really?
He's a pro. He runs every day. Like, he's
not every day.
He doesn't need advice.
Mo, maybe for anyone out there maybe you could talk a bit about how you started your journey, a little bit about, like, how many miles you're doing, how you started doing them, because very few people can go from not running to. But I want you I want to show that it's possible, right?
Yeah. For me, like I ran as a kid in that, but when I got sick and I was in recovery mode, I started walking again just to recover. Like in 2011, I had the big C, what they call, and I started running. I started walking and then running. I was up to, 4 or 5 kilometers a day. But then you went back to work. So then I got back out of shape, and now that I'm retired, I got all this time in my hands. I can run again, and it's good. I can.
But the first time you went out and you ran, like, I know you didn't do 13 miles of running.
Oh no!
I'm going off memory here, but I think you did like 1 kilometer of running or something like that.
Exactly. I started like probably half kilometer. 500 yards, whatever. Very, very little at the beginning of running, but it progressed fairly fast though, because I was walking already and walking fast pace, like fast. Probably for you it's slow, but for me it's fast. Like walking a kilometer, 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, you were doing a lot.
That builds the engine for sure.
Mm-hmm. Enough that you're sweating,
that helps build it.
And then next thing you know, you're running 5, and then you're running 6 and 8. And, okay, well,
you're talking about minutes, right?
Hey,
minutes you're talking about, or like
kilometers a day?
Kilometers
per day. And all of a sudden you're running 13. All of a sudden I'll try 13, and it's good. Just progresses from there. And then this is from June. So
how is the CBOM for you?
That's all good.
It's complete remission, right? Completely gone.
Yeah. It's been 12 years now. So
wow.
And you're strong, Manok. Holy, it's an inspiring story.
Like
you too, Josh. Not as inspiring as your dad.
Not nearly. Not nearly.
He's not finished.
We were having this conversation.
He's not done though. He's got lots.
Neither are you. That's the thing. Yeah. But yeah, we were having this conversation yesterday. I was like, why do they want me on this podcast? You're the one they want to talk to, really.
No, but I want to talk to you, Josh, because I've talked about you on this podcast. I've mentioned that I ran with you a few times and how fun that was, and I knew that you and Jamie, shout out Jamie Burgoyne, and your other buddy, remind me his name.
No, or Bobby Rubby. We ran a couple times.
Bobby Rubby, yeah. Okay, but I remember you guys were motivated together, and I remember thinking that's a cool story, because for a lot of people out there who are trying to do this on their own, it might be hard, right? So for you to have Jamie, for you guys to make a promise is kind of important, right?
Absolutely. And on that, he's had a couple injury setbacks over the summer. So he hasn't been able to be as consistent as I was with my training. He had a bike wipeout, that bruised rib, and he battled through that. So, and that was just like right when we should have been really amping up with his training. So he had to take a bunch of time off, and now we've been running back at it, and he's back, but he's battling through it. So it's been a different experience for him a bit. But he's so jacked for the race for sure.
Now he's worried I'm going to beat him.
He is. He's very concerned about it. Yeah.
That's what happened to Grains and me in 2000 when we thought my dad was going to beat us, and we found another gear, and we just went way faster because we did not want to let Claude beat us.
Yeah. So Dad texted me on Monday. He said, "Tell Jamie I'm doing 2:15." And then I did, and he was like, "No, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna go. I gotta stay with him." He said, "Yeah, it was good. It was good."
Okay, how about questions about the race or anything? Manok, your first marathon, your first half, you're good. You know how it's gonna go.
Nutrition,
the plan the night
before. You got a
plan
for nutrition, hydration.
I got one question here. What do you think about doing the first kilometer fairly fast? And then resting?
No, bad idea.
Sorry, Grains. Sorry, Grains.
Because you're fresh, and you could do it faster, Okay.
So the reason you don't want to do that is science based. So basically, when you go above a certain point, you're burning more carbs than fat. You want to keep it as steady as possible. That's why even splits are the best way to run a race. Is the more steady you have it, the more you're going to burn fat instead of carbs. The more fat you can burn, the fresher you'll be at the end of the race. That's part of it. There's also just a psychological part of it. I think you want to be, when you're fresh at the end of the race, you get such a boost. You're going to gain that fast kilometer way back if you're
at the back end.
Yeah. So I think it's all about keeping it for the end. Whatever distance it is, But ideally, you want to end up having everything as even as possible.
I need to reference the message that you had in Grains and I's chat, Charlie, real quick.
Yeah.
So our cousin Grains, who's been on the podcast before, is doing his first ultra tomorrow. He's doing a 50K in Duluth. It's a real ultra, so like it's not going to be 4 hours. Like it's going to be, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, because it's whatever. Anyways, it's what do they call it? Technical, they call it.
Well, he's got
but anyways,
3,000 feet of elevation or something on it.
Yeah. No, it's real elevation plus it's roots and rocks and whatever.
It's gonna be that's gonna be tough. Anyway,
you said make sure you run up the hills and walk down. Right? You said this
as a joke. As a joke. Yeah. Because
he says down is all inertia. Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, uphill, the quicker I get it done, the better. And you're like, come on, Grains, I hope you're not serious. And he's all, it's all the same amount of energy. It's just more concentrated on the uphill. So then you went through and he's arguing with you. I don't know if he's messing with you. Do you think he's messing with you? Because there's no way he believes that, right?
I don't think so. So because like when I ran with Paul at Treehorn, there's a lot of hills, and every hill I'd say, Paul, take it easy. Don't worry about getting passed up the hill. Like, and then every time we get to the top of the hill, and the people that passed us going up the hill would be like huffing and puffing and like barely able to move, and then we'd always pass them like going down like so easily.
I like how you wrote it here. You touched on it, but I just want to repeat what you wrote for Grains. The more you concentrate your energy, the quicker you'll get tired. You'll burn more carbs rather than fat because you have a limited number of carbs to use. You're saying it's also going to tire your muscles. So if you concentrate energy in spurts, you get more tired than if you stabilize your energy across. So basically, you were telling him, stabilize your effort level instead of your pace. If you stabilize your effort level, it's a lot better. And you said, think of how easy it would be to run 20K at 6:30 versus all of a sudden doing 5 kilometers at 4 minutes per kilometer. You're expending way more energy, and you didn't reply. So I hope he gets it. I hope when he goes out tomorrow in Duluth, and shout out to you, Grains. He's got a little bit of the Tetro disease, eh? Or I guess maybe it's the Grenier disease. Maybe it's the Grenier disease. You two are. So my mom's a Grenier and my dad's a Tetro, and I think maybe it's a Grenier disease. You two are here. He's there, and he's just like, he did a marathon. Now he wants to do an ultra. Now he wants to do he's. Oh yeah. Sounds like Mo and George.
Like 4 weeks apart. Let's go and do a 50K 4 weeks after a marathon. Great idea.
Yeah. Well, we used to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Whatever. I'm sure he'll crush it too. I'm sure he'll do well.
But you guys stressed the point of doing a negative split, which is supposed to be a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, maybe explain
negative or even.
Real quick, explain what it is for Tracy and our listeners who don't know.
Okay, so Tracy, a negative split is when you run the second half faster than the first half. And it doesn't have to be a negative split, but even split. The problem with trying not trying to do a negative split is you end up doing a big positive split, which is really bad. A positive split means you run the first half way faster than the second half, or faster than the second half. So by trying to do a negative split, what usually happens is people run an even split, which is the best way to run a race.
What do you think the percentage is at the Chicago Marathon or the WFPS, or are they different of negative splits versus positive splits? If you
I think I scraped one of the websites at some point, and I looked into that. It's like 8% are negative, something like that. It's a very low 8%. Number, or maybe less than that. It's probably less than that.
Wow.
So 92% end up positive, and the better, like the faster you go, the more negative splits there's going to be relative to the percentage. In other words, people who run more, have more experience, can execute it better, right?
A quick Google says Reddit page told me 8%. Yeah, so I guess is that what you said?
I was guessing 8, but because of what I remembered, yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate, but that would seem reasonable to me. Minogue, I have a feeling you're going to be a candidate for a strong negative split. if you want it, with a very strong finish time, just because you've done the miles, you're running every day. You did the 13 miler, so I don't want to say you know what to expect, but you know what to expect. You know it's going to be hard, and just you too, but for different reasons. I think Mo's doing more. You've done more races, so you have a better kind of expectation of how hard it's going to be. You know how hard it's going to be, but I think Mo's done a little bit more race prep. Like he's more mileage and
definitely got more miles for sure.
Yeah.
The biggest, like, I feel like the biggest challenge though when you start out is you get so excited when you get there, and people are excited, and there's so much energy around you that it's hard, and it feels so. The first kilometer is going to feel so easy,
so slow.
relative to what you're used to,
and people are going to be past.
Yeah, it's that you want to go faster, but you just have to have the discipline to go slower at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure I don't go. I'm gonna make sure that 2 hour pacer's ahead of me for the first while. That's what I want to make sure, and then hopefully on down Portage we'll see what happens. But
remember though, at the Huntington Marathon, I saw a pacer puking on the side of the road behind Marty and I, the 3:45. She was like half an hour behind. So anyways, I'm just saying pacers aren't perfect.
Well, yeah, it might be his first pacing run. No. Who knows?
I'm going to check who it is, and I'll tell you.
If it's someone reputable, you'll okay for Josh to follow the pace.
Yeah. Where does it say this? I can't find it.
It was in the handbook, but
it's the biggest FOMO race I think I've had, because like everyone's going to be there, right? Everyone who runs in Manitoba will be there. It's the last race of the
year. Charlie, you were mentioning nutrition.
A lot of the guys are out there.
I was mentioning what?
Nutrition.
Yeah, do you guys have a plan for that?
So tomorrow night, Sue's making a pasta meal for me and George.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
Probably want to get some carbs in the morning too. Probably want to get some carbs tomorrow morning, like all day during the day, and you don't need to eat like that much for supper, because just like you still want to eat lots, but not too much so that it affects your sleep. But I would say like carbs throughout the day tomorrow. Carbs and hydration tomorrow throughout the day. Yeah.
How about before the race? You drink water, or
I don't like drinking water like 2 hours
before. Just a little sip maybe or something, or
you should be hydrated before, is my opinion. In other words, you don't need to have water till you start the race.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if I'm right.
Because when I did my training run, I had water halfway, and that was it. Like,
Yeah. You can get water. There's going to be water every 2 miles, right? So
yeah.
So it's not a.
What time is race time?
8 o'clock. It'll still be dark.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. And you're not. What time are you getting up, Mo, that morning? Well, you're always up at 5, I guess.
I wanted to pick up George around 6:30.
Okay, so is your plan to? So you're gonna eat like 3 hours before, or 2.5 or something? You're gonna have some oatmeal?
I'll probably have my regular bowl of cereal, probably, and
okay. So if you do that, if it's 3 hours before, you can have a little bit of water. Charlie might disagree. You can have a little bit of water, a cup, whatever. Make sure you make sure it's out of you before you race.
Yeah, of course.
So George, back to the pacers. There's 2 pacers for the 2 hours, and they're very competent. Very competent, both of them.
Okay.
Who else can I know?
Melvin Umang and Thane Smith, I think is his last name. So should
not
be
their first rodeo.
Not their first rodeo. No.
If you drink like 3 hours before, you have like a cup of water, it's most likely going to be out. If you make sure to hit the pissers like 2-3 times before you race, and then you might feel it a little bit as your race starts, like a small urge to pee. But I think if you actually don't drink 2.5 hours before, you'll get through it, and then you start drinking water, and it just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or if you want to be safe, don't drink water before at all, and just start when the race starts. You just drink water every aid station.
Yeah, if you feel thirsty or whatever.
Yeah, like
or
I would drink regardless.
Well,
Yeah, you're not going to feel thirsty because you go out and
so Uncle Mo's going to need to drink because he's out there a little longer. So you need to, I would say, like drink a little bit, like walk through the aid stations, get a bit of water, and then keep going.
Are you doing anything for nutrition, Minogue?
What do you mean?
Are you drinking gels or anything?
Well, I'm not usually, but I might bring up, I don't know, a granola bar or something maybe along. Or
do they have gels on the course, Josh? Do you know?
There's one gel station in mile 8. I'm gonna go pick up our bibs here after this, and I was probably gonna pick up some gels. So
get a couple for Uncle Mo.
Yeah,
just do them. I would just do them,
Well, I don't know, like how can your stomach handle, like it's like pure sugar, right? Like it's like a gel. Like how is your stomach good for that? Is the thing. He's never tried it. Really, gels are the best. But
I had a gel in New Brunswick there, and
yeah.
Oh yeah, you did have one in New Brunswick.
But they do say
not
to
taste them and see how they taste it, you know. And
they do say not to try anything new on race day, so maybe your granola bar is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is I've only had the one gel one time. It was at the Run with Rob. I was at I don't know, probably around mile 8 or 9 at Run with Rob, and I remember it was getting hot and I was struggling. I was getting nauseous, and one of the guys handed me the gel, and I took it, and it saved me. It settled my stomach and got me to the end of the race. So
for a 3-hour effort, really you should be getting a few gels in, Minogue, or some. You need some carbs to get in the body during that run.
Yeah, I would strongly advise to make some sort of plan to eat something. You could probably get by with half.
I mean, you'll be fine because you've already done it, but I think you could
give you better performance.
You could do better.
Do they have a few spots where they'll have oranges and bananas, if I recall, right? Just regular people, just not aid stations, just
maybe I don't know.
But I mean, you don't want to rely on that.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll do fine either way, Minogue, but like Charlie said, performance will be a bit better.
Oh, I'm thinking of bringing a couple granola bars or something.
Or even if you've got
Cliff Bar
candy, some kind of something that's sugar, right? So
those fruit bars.
If you have those fruit bars, not the fruit bars, those would be good.
Yeah,
because those are pure sugar.
Okay.
You guys excited?
I'm so excited. I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, I love it. I get so pumped for these races.
Should
Charlie,
we talk about? I'm so excited. I'm not excited that I'm missing it because I feel like I'm in pretty good shape and I'd run a decent time right now. But I know you'd crush it. But good luck to other people that we know. Also, I'm gonna shout out Todd Friesen, he's gonna break my half marathon PR this weekend, hopefully. Simo and Riley Dudar are gonna have a good battle to see who can break a buck 30. I don't know who else, but a bunch of people. Everyone we know, basically.
Yeah, Marty and Grant and Donnie and Jacques Auger and Phil Macou and my wife Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
Right on.
Nice.
Yeah, she's back up to a half distance. So yeah, it's a lot. Everyone in Winnipeg will be there except you and I, Charlie. But that's okay.
I might go for a bike ride around there or something.
The next thing you know, Charlie's got
just to see how Uncle Moe and maybe I'll go give some nutrition to Uncle Moe. I'll go support him.
Yes, that's actually a good idea. Help him out.
Yeah, I'll go
and
check
Josh,
it out.
Try to talk him into taking some gels, maybe. Buy a few extra ones for your dad.
Yeah, I was going to buy a few there, and just if he has it in his pocket, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Charlie, you, all is good. You are racing Ironman California in 8 days.
Yep. Everything's good. Yeah, I mean, except the tapers are. I wish I want to run more than what I'm allowed to run right now. Yeah.
You know who's going to be incredibly tapered for his Ironman World Championships tomorrow? And has 2 thumbs?
You.
This guy. I haven't run since Chicago.
Oh, yeah, the ultimate taper, eh?
Yeah, this is a pretty big taper.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be.
So, do you have any strategies for this barefoot attempt here to talk about?
Well, so I don't want to make light of this, but 2 people died yesterday in the race, and they're, I guess, pulling people from the course. They're worried about the wind and the conditions and whatever. So, I hope they let me go. I just hope they don't pull me off the course, because they won't be able to stop me, right? I'm going to get out of the swim. I'm going to run to the transition. Apparently, the transition is like a 400-meter jog. So I'm going to do that. My pedals, they look unbelievable. You'll see them. But like I got Velcro, they're flat, and I got Velcro. So my feet fit right in, and it's like I'll be able to lift. Like I really like my pedals. And the problem is my bike's a rental, and doesn't shift gears too great. It's 6:00 here in
Go see a mechanic.
Well, I'm gonna go try it out, I guess, tonight. But I mean, as long as I do like a 120 on the bike.
But it's a road bike, or is it a road bike or a tri bike?
It's a road bike.
Oh,
Charlie, come on! I don't want to hear this right now. I don't want to hear as I'm already full of doubts. But once
no doubt.
Once I'm off the bike, think of how quick my transition is going to be. But once I'm off the bike, I'm going. I'm just going.
So your goal should be, you should have a goal to have the fastest transitions. Should you not have the fastest transitions without any shoes?
Out of the whole race?
Well, yeah, up there.
Yeah, I don't have anything to do.
Who's gonna beat you?
I have to take my wetsuit off. I was debating.
Just take your wetsuit off, but the bike to run transition, you should win.
Are you on mute?
No, I'm talking.
Here. Yep,
we can hear you.
You lost your sound. Sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No chance he's losing that transition, right? Like.
He should win T2. Definitely, he should win T2.
He should win
T2 if you can hear us. Okay, anyways, so we're going to sign off.
All right.
I don't know how we end these shows, but because I've never done it, it's always Rob.
Rob always takes the lead on the,
podcast.
Yeah, I hear you now. What's up? You're chirping me?
Yeah, so sorry. So you should definitely win T2 is back what we said. If you don't win T2, that's a disappointment.
Well, because T2 will be just drop the bike and go.
Yeah, just throw it. Maybe rack.
Yeah, it's just a road bike.
It's a rental.
It's not even your bike. It's not even your bike.
Yeah. Could you imagine just like leave it on the side of the road?
Cross the line and run.
The wind will take it into the boardwalk anyway with the kids. So
with the kids that are flying away. Dismount before the line, dismount after the line. I never know. What is it again, Charlie?
Well, just think of it logically. It's before the line because you don't want to have the advantage of biking through transition because you can go faster on a bike.
Yeah. I was trying to make a joke. Charlie didn't like it.
Yeah. Before the line. Before the line,
Yeah, no, I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow. I don't know if the Guinness record is happening, but if it's not happening, it's going to happen in Birds Hill or St. Malo or whatever.
By me, yes, I know. Yes, I know. I will get it. Yeah, I know I'll get it. There.
No, you said you wouldn't go till I went.
Said I'm giving you this chance right here, and then
just one chance.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway,
you could just both do it in the same race, and then
then it'd be like an event.
And it's the real event.
Yeah, and then I lose. That sucks. So I gotta get it tomorrow. I can't.
I'm not.
At least you'll have it for a little while.
Yeah, I'll have it for a while.
Okay, I'll let you get Birds Hill, and then I'll do St. Malo.
Okay. Any last words, Josh, Mo, or Charlie?
Well, on Sunday we're gonna lace them up, and we'll be at the starting line.
Yeah, sounds great.
Love to hear it.
Super excited. So proud of Pops there. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great day.
I'm proud of you too, Joe.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to come on the show. Thank you guys for complicated scheduling. We got this figured out. I'm so happy to have you both here. Enjoy the day Sunday, okay? Enjoy the day. And don't forget to like and subscribe. By the way, our podcast has really taken off over the last month. I don't know who's listening, but really taken off. So thank you to all our listeners. We're really grateful to have you guys. Give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. And don't forget, guys, more miles, less pace.